The next section of the Proficiency Award application is the basic setup page. The basic setup is where you're going to establish what type of project it is and give a little bit more detail to your project. First off, here we have the date for this application, your beginning date. This should be the date the student started in your class for the first time, the date they became a valid FFA member. And what will happen is in AET, where your students can go select their classes, if they select the first class they have, it will line up. The date you put in for that course is what will line up here. You can go enter this in though. So make sure to enter that in the first date. So I normally, if school started in August and I got a kid in August of, let's say 2017, working on an application, I'd come in here and probably go ahead and put just August 1, 2017. So put the first month of when that student started ag and became a valid FFA member. The ending date will always be the year prior to the application being submitted. So this year coming up in 2021, your ending records will be for this year, 2020. You can't submit any new records for the year it's getting submitted. So our applications that just got submitted this past year in 2020, the ending date for those was December 31st, 2019. So it's very important you don't have the current year at which the application is being submitted. And applications are due to the state every year, February 15th. So February 15th, 2021, the ending date for those applications will be 12/31/2020. Do not mess with that. Next, you'll come down here and you will select the type of project you have. For some kids, that's going to be 100% placement. They work for somebody, either getting paid or unpaid placement even, but they work for someone else. And then if you slide this all the way down to the other end, you have 100% entrepreneurship. This will be when they completely own their own business. They assume all responsibility. But you notice the slider will also go in between. So you could technically be a 50-50. It goes in increments of 5%. So you could be 50% entrepreneurship, 50% placement. You might have that a lot in family farms where a student works for their family, but also has their own project to the side, maybe their own livestock, their own piece of land that they have bought and assumed responsibility over as well. So that is when that would come into play. Now, when you're at 100% placement, you'll notice the application remains very simple here. Anytime you come off of 100% placement, so like back to 50-50 or back to 100% entrepreneurship, you'll notice you have some additional information that will pop up down here, which we'll talk about in just a second. Next, you'll choose your pathway that it fits most closely with. We're dealing with Barney Fife again today, and Barney's working at Gomer's Lawn Care, so that's going to be a plant systems project. So mark the appropriate project pathway here. And then as we come down here, like I said, if you have a combination or an entrepreneurship project, you're going to get these boxes. So this is just pulling from the application, and all of this pulls from AET. So when you're initially starting, don't worry about no data here. As we work through in these videos and show you how to do each of these sections, we will show you where the data that will come into here will come from. And we'll get to that when we start covering some of these other sections like ending current inventory, ending non-current inventory, and we will show you. So don't worry about that right now. In due time, all numbers will appear in the next few videos. So this is the basic setup. And after this, you get to move on to the next section.